What's a Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. We're gonna solve that mystery. I'll see a Scooby-Doo. The trolley's back to you. What's a Scooby-Doo? What's a Scooby-Doo? We're gonna follow you. We're gonna solve that mystery. I'll see a Scooby-Doo. We're coming after you. What's a Scooby-Doo?
Hey guys, Thomas here, and I want to have kind of a more sit-down discussion style video today.
And this is Joe from Seattle, and I want to do a response video today. Did you know I do response videos sometimes?
About specifically the reaction I've seen on the internet of people saying that, this new Super Mario 3D All-Stars is not worth it.
I think it was a pretty interesting reaction, honestly. Usually the internet just kind of gobbles up whatever Nintendo throws at them, but this was an interesting response. For those who are out of the loop, Nintendo recently announced the Super Mario 3D All-Stars pack, which is Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, the best Super Mario game, and Super Mario Galaxy, a close second for the best Super Mario game, all bundled together for the Switch for $60. They are not remasters, they are just ports. And here are the resolutions for these ports. And also, Super Mario 64, a game from the late 90s, is only going to run at 30 FPS at this resolution. And this collection is only going to be available from mid-September to the end of March. And then it's just gone. Nintendo. What the fuck is this? What is the fucking point? But I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Now, just saying that alone obviously isn't bad at all. People have the right to decide what they want to buy and what they don't want to buy, and, obviously they can vote with their dollar on what they think is right.
People have the right to buy what they want to buy and vote with their wallet. Now let me complain for 5 to 6 minutes about how people aren't going to buy what I'm going to buy. And I'm just going to completely misrepresent the arguments at hand. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
However, the problem I have is when people try and sway other people to their side.
Kind of like what you're doing right now. Like, literally, you're doing this exact thing.
For example, if you really think that these 3D All-Star packs are just horrible and just a terrible consumer practice by Nintendo,
They are. They're bundling decades-old games, not really updating their performance, putting them all together, asking you to pay $60 for them, and they're only going to put them on shelves for about 5 months. Yes, that is a horrible move. It's a horrible scumbag move. I can get permanent copies of these games for older consoles for less than $60. I can get emulated copies of these games for no dollars. And ironically, the emulated versions of these games are going to run at better resolutions and better frame rates than what you're selling to me. And you have the balls to pull some Disney Vault shit with this, as if it's some incredible, amazing thing that you're gracing us with your presence with it. It's our privilege to be able to give you $60 on these games that you already made 20, 30 years ago. Fuck off, Nintendo. Really?
that's fine, and you can say as such, but when you make fun of other people for trying to, just buy something that they enjoy, that's where it kind of steps over the line and goes a bit too far.
If something comes out and somebody else makes fun of it, and that actually hurts your feelings and makes you not buy it anymore, guess what? You didn't actually want that thing. You're acting as if adults with spending money have the mental capacity of third graders who just want to be the cool kids, and if something's not cool, they won't buy it. I don't care if something's cool. I don't care if something's not cool. If I want it, I'm gonna buy it, because I'm an adult.
So today in this video, I want to talk about why I do think that these 3D All-Star packs are actually worth it. First, I'll talk about that from just a purely monetary standpoint, why I think it is a good investment.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what a Nintendo-based channel thinks about the monetary investment of a $60 3-game Mario port pack. Again, 3 games that you can emulate for free. Emulation is bad. Shut up.
And then I want to talk about how even if, maybe these weren't as good of an investment, how these games are still a quality purchase if it's something you're excited for, and why you should never let anyone else take away that excitement.
Don't let anybody take away this excitement. Bro, You're acting as if somebody's trying to steal Christmas. It's just Mario games.
Well, first of all, I wanted to talk about the 3 games that are included in this All-Star Pack. Obviously, you all already know that it's Super Mario 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine. On Metacritic, Super Mario Galaxy is currently sitting at a 97 out of 100.
Therefore, you should pay $60 for it 10 years after its release. Wait, is it 10 years after release? Hang on. Super Mario Galaxy. Bro, this game came out in 2007. Oh my god, fuck off.
It is currently the 6th best rated game of all time.
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy is a great game. It's kind of weird that Nintendo only wants to sell it to you for 5 months. Are you familiar with the term artificial scarcity?
Super Mario 64 is not too far behind at a 94, and Sunshine is only a couple points behind that at a 92.
And that right there is why you shouldn't trust Metacritic. Mario Sunshine is so much better than Mario 64. And I don't care if you dislike the video, Mario 64 did not age well. Like, seriously, when's the last time you played that game? That game was super innovative, and it was super important for the gaming industry as a whole, but holy crap, it did not age well. Sunshine is better in every single way.
Essentially, in summary, these are some of the greatest games of all time. Not only that, but this is the first official way to play some of them portably.
Well, some of them, yeah. I mean, Super Mario 64 was ported to the DS. And I'm pretty sure all of them were on digital marketplaces, right? Like on the Wii U and on the Wii. Nintendo used to be really good about digital stores and preserving their old games. I wonder what happened. Oh yeah, money and internet culture.
On top of that, games such as Super Mario Sunshine have had updated aspect ratios, all of them have increased resolution, leading many to believe that these will be the best versions of these games.
Okay, improved aspect ratio. Wow, you stretched the res from 4:3 to 16:9. Amazing. Improved resolution. Wow, I'm paying for 720p in 2020. Also, I love how you don't mention the frame rate, because Super Mario 64, a game from the 90s, is staying at 30 FPS. $60, please. And also, I love how you say that these are the best versions of the game. Literally, no. It's like emulation doesn't exist in your head. All of these games can run at 60 FPS. All of these games can run at 1080p. All these games can run with mods if you emulate them. And I know some people hate emulation, but like, how is it the fans are giving you a better version of the game than the makers and owners of the IP? That's why people are frustrated. They're demanding $60 for technically inferior versions of games that are up to 30 years old. And the superior versions were provided for free by fans out of love of the game. That is why people are frustrated. And these people are completely justified. You can say what you want about emulation. This isn't even a debate of whether or not emulation is good or bad. This is a debate of why isn't Nintendo, the owner of the IP, the owner of the franchise, with all the money they could ever need for this, why can they not even match what the fans do with the game?
And while yeah, they are older games that obviously have already come out, they are still very expensive titles. A digital copy of Super Mario Galaxy still goes for $20.
Hey, look at that, a digital Nintendo game? Nintendo actually preserving their games digitally? Interesting. Interesting. Meanwhile, it's 2020, and now they want you to pay for a physical copy, and if you don't get a physical copy in 5 months, fuck you.
And physical copies can be upwards of $40.
Yeah, that's because it's an unopened copy of a game from 2007. Like most successful first-party games from that era, still closed or still good condition. Like, that has nothing to do with Super Mario Galaxy. And while I was editing this, I was curious, and I looked up Super Mario Galaxy on Amazon. You can get used copies for $11. Like, I love this. He's just flat out lying to you. Physical copies of this game are upwards of $40. Literally, no, you're just lying. It's right there, $11.30.
A digital copy of Super Mario 64 on the Wii U is $10, and keep in mind that is a worse version graphically.
A worse version? Oh my god. Okay, so we got Mario Galaxy for $20, Mario 64 for $10. So, how is this adding up exactly? Where were you going with this? And also, I love how you're saying it's a worse version technically, it's a worse version graphically. Okay. Can you elaborate, please? I don't think you will, because if you do elaborate, then you have to admit that the superior version is 720p 30 FPS. If you think that's superior anything, I don't even know what, I can't even think of a joke.
Super Mario Sunshine isn't even sold on the Wii U eShop, and if you want to get a physical copy, it's upwards of $100.
Upwards of $100. $89.49. Okay.
Of course, there will be people in the comments saying, oh, you can just emulate all these games.
Yeah, you can.
But A, some people aren't comfortable pirating.
Emulation is not piracy.
And B, you need a relatively good computer to run Sunshine and Galaxy at the stable frame rate.
No, you don't. Sunshine and Galaxy are not demanding games to run on an emulator. Like, any modern computer can do it.
Upscaled to the same graphics they would be on Switch.
So, 720p?
And even then, that's not really portable.
A laptop. I have a MacBook Air and I can emulate these games easily.
So do the people making it sound like Nintendo is ripping off consumers?
They kind of are.
Honestly, what are you talking about?
Everything I've said already is what I'm talking about, and you haven't really made a point opposing what we're talking about. You brought up Metacritic scores, you brought up the price of physical copies, which is irrelevant to the discussion, because I could make that argument about pretty much anything. And you brought up graphical performance, but you didn't give specifics. So that's not a point. Really, what is your point? You called emulation piracy, which legally isn't true. Your whole argument against piracy seems to be, I don't like it, which, again, it's fine if you don't like it, but it exists. You can't just brush it off. So really, what is your point?
I see so many comparisons to Crash Bandicoot because those games got 3 really nice remasters and those were only sold for $40.
Yes, exactly. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, 3 games, completely remastered from the ground up, actually improved resolution, actually improved frame rate, $40. Meanwhile, Nintendo, they scaled up the aspect ratio. They scaled up the resolution. They didn't actually remaster the game. They stretched it. It's not difficult to do. $60, please. And it's only available for 5 months. If you're still confused about why people are upset about this, I really don't know what to tell you. It's really obvious.
First of all, comparing those games is absolutely ridiculous. No disrespect to any of the Crash Bandicoot games, I bought the Insane Trilogy. That does not even hold a candle to any of the Mario games in this collection.
Okay, so you like Mario more than Crash or Spyro? I don't care. You're taking an apples to apples comparison and you're trying to make it an apples to oranges comparison, all because you didn't like it as much. Again, this isn't a point.
Once again, no disrespect towards Crash, it's literally just competing against some of the best games of all time.
If Nintendo really cared about preserving some of the best games of all time, why do you think they would be milking the franchise like this? And milking the legacy of these games so much? Again, artificial scarcity. It's an important term right now.
There's a reason, as I said earlier, that Super Mario Sunshine is being sold for this much money.
I mean, I can show you screenshots of any game from that era. How about an old copy of Resident Evil 1? How about an old copy of Melee? How about an old copy of Halo 1? Like, again, this isn't an argument. You're trying to redirect the argument. It's not working.
Even now, something like 17 years after it came out, people want to replay these games. They've stood up to the test of time over and over again and are still incredibly enjoyable.
Stood up to the test of time or stood the test of time?
So clearly from a monetary standpoint, these games are worth it.
You just talked for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes about stuff that really didn't have anything to do with objective monetary value, and now you're saying, oh, I've proven that they're monetarily worth it. No, everything you've said has either been wrong or opinionated.
Hopefully I somewhat made that clear. It's crazy to me that people don't see the value in this.
There is absolutely value of a collection of these 3 games on the Switch on one cartridge. There's absolutely value to that. Is it the value you're describing? Nope.
However, if you just hate these games, or objectively you just do not see the value, that is perfectly fine.
I swear, Nintendo fanboys are some of the hardest people to respond to because out of all like the weird console fan bases, they have some of the most illogical arguments and they convince themselves so hard that they're correct.
Then just don't buy them.
Okay, I won't.
You could also complain to Nintendo. That's perfectly fine. I've been doing a fair amount of complaining this year because, I mean, before this, Nintendo had pretty much nothing.
It's perfectly fine to complain to Nintendo. Also, here's my video responding to people complaining to Nintendo. Okay.
That's all fine and good, and I'll never try and stop people from exercising their free speech.
Okay, but why did you make this video then? If the point of this video is not to devalue the arguments of people you disagree with, what is the point?
However, the one place where I draw the line and what I seriously have a problem with is seeing all these people on Twitter just absolutely crapping on people for buying these games.
Nobody has bought the game. It's not out. Like, it's not out. Nobody has bought the game. How do I crap on somebody for buying the game if it's not out?
And the problem is, there are a lot of people out there, I used to be one of them, who let their opinions get swayed by just what they read online.
Yeah, if you let your opinions be swayed by places like Twitter, you're dumb. Twitter isn't real life. The arguments and points people make on Twitter are often just emotional. And then emotional arguments are fine until you start bringing them into an actual argument.
Obviously, reviews are good and all.
Wait. You said reviews are good and all. But you just said you let your opinions be swayed.
But if there's a game that gets terrible reviews, but I know for a fact that despite those terrible reviews, I will love the game, I'm never gonna let the reviews stop me from buying it.
Wait a minute. So you read terrible reviews, but you know you're gonna love the game. That is the most like fanboy thing I've ever heard in my life, and you just rolled right past it. If you go into a game already knowing you're going to love it, you're not going to take an objective view to the game. When I play a new game, I go in with baseline expectations, regardless of how much I love the franchise, regardless of how much I love the developers. I go into every new game, every new movie. I do my best to go in with complete baseline and expectations, because that's the only way you're going to get an objective opinion of it. You can't make your opinion of something before you try it. Weren't you just talking about objective value and objective criticism of something? How do you pack this much nonsense into a 6-minute video?
It should be the same thing in this scenario. If you have an incredible nostalgic connection to Super Mario 64, or Sunshine, or Galaxy, don't let anyone on like Twitter or something make you feel bad for purchasing it.
Nobody's going to... Oh my god. I hate this. I really hate this. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for purchasing this. Again, if people can make you feel bad for purchasing a video game, that's kind of you. That's kind of your problem. That's nobody's problem but yours.
That just makes no sense.
It makes no sense after 5 minutes of just blatantly missing the point. Shocker, it doesn't make sense to you.
In the same way that everyone should be allowed to, voice their displeasure with Nintendo whenever something's not going the way they want.
Like people are literally doing.
Everyone should be allowed to like what they like and buy what they want to buy without the overwhelming hate mob always saying, oh, you're just a fanboy of the company and you'll buy every product they put out.
Okay, I hear you. I really hear you. But counter argument. Is that not what you're doing? You're embracing the hate mob. You're misrepresenting the people who disagree with you. You're lumping legitimate criticisms in with the hate mob. And you're just gobbling up this thing that Nintendo has put in front of you, even after you did an apples to apples comparison with other 3-game remastered collection things with objectively more effort put into them and objectively a better deal in terms of what you're getting for your money. What you're describing that you don't like, is this not exactly what you're doing? Like, how is what you're describing as bad not exactly what you're doing?
That mentality is honestly just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm not going to say anything mean right now.
Just let everyone have a good time. I mean, it's literally just Mario video games.
It's literally just Mario video games. Here's me ranting for 6 minutes about why I don't like people who don't like paying $60 for 30-year-old Mario video games. Hoo boy.
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter too much.
And yet, here we are.
Don't let anyone, be it a random person you saw on Twitter or a YouTuber making a video about it.
This is what bothers me so much about fanboys. They see legitimate criticisms, or, they don't see them as legitimate criticisms, but they see legitimate criticisms, and they just chalk it up to, oh, this is random hate mob. Oh, they're just haters. They're not actual. No. They're just haters. These aren't real things. They're just haters. Have you seen the scalp prices for these games once they come out? Artificial. Scarcity. Nintendo is an expert at this, and I wish you would stop gobbling up everything they do, because then they would stop doing it. Like, literally, who other than Nintendo benefits from a timed release of this? Who other than Nintendo benefits from this collection being $60?
Sway you from buying these games. With that out of the way, thank you guys all so much for watching.
Yeah. Look, I can't tell you not to buy something. Well, I mean, obviously I can, but I have no control over what you buy. Nobody has control over what you buy. If you want to buy this, go ahead. But you also should be informed about the things that you buy. Because if you buy this, you are encouraging more things like this to be made. Do you see the difference there? I'm not telling you not to buy this. I'm not telling you that you're a bad person if you do buy this. But I am telling you that you are encouraging further practices like this if you buy it. And I just want people to be aware of that, because that's important to me. It's important to me that we try and make the gaming industry less greedy, and we try to make the gaming industry less exploitative. And the only way we do that is by standing up to bullshit like this, because this is bullshit. Give me a good reason why these games should be $60, timed release. Give me a good reason why that needs to exist. Give me a good reason why these games couldn't be released digitally for less money than that, and so they could be preserved on modern hardware properly. Give me a good reason why that couldn't have been done. It's been a while since I got really just stern with people in response videos, because sometimes response videos are like, oh man, this is so stupid. Oh man, this is an active and engaging, or as engaging as a response conversation can be. But then there's videos like this that I just have to be disappointed in. Oh well. Bye.